Hey guys, welcome to the live. Hey Sharon Parker. Surprised you, didn't I? Anyways, and Charmaine and Darren. So anyways, yeah, gonna be talking about Elijah Vu, and then there's one that Charmaine had sent me today with regard to Sebastian. So before we get started with that, there's this quick Delphi issue alert to parents. So I'm gonna play that clip. It's just 2 minutes and 23 seconds long. And on that, so you know what, we're just really going to get into it, to be honest with you. So I'll play this clip first from Delphi. Well, you guys can just listen.
Child's phones.
Delphi police are sharing a scary situation that may sound eerily familiar, but could happen to kids anywhere in central Indiana. Rich Nye shares their concerns from Carroll County tonight.
But okay.
Sarah Burwell walks her dog at Riley Park in Delphi. She was disturbed to hear what happened here last week when someone called police to tell them about a man taking 2 young girls into the woods. When police arrived, they found the man and 2 girls back here smoking marijuana. The man is 24 years old. Both girls are 15, but he says they told him they were 19 years old. The man was from another town, and the meetup was allegedly set up on Snapchat.
It was to buy drugs or smoke marijuana, but I mean, who knows what the other person, the guy had, his intentions were. I mean, could have been under false pretenses. Parents need to be in their kids' phone.
Delphi police posted a message on their Facebook page alerting parents to the incident.
We just wanted to put out a warning to parents to be involved with their kids' social media, be involved with phones, go through messages, go through apps, and find out what your kids are doing.
Riley Park is only about a mile from the Monon High Bridge Trail, where Libby German and Abby Williams were murdered 7 years ago in a case that is still not resolved.
I would think that in this community, a scenario like this just immediately resonates and hits home.
It does. It really, really does. It's so scary.
Anything that comes up with juveniles, regardless of any current or past cases, we just want to put the warning out to parents and make sure that they're doing everything that they can to keep their kids safe.
The Carroll County prosecutor is reviewing the Riley Park incident for possible criminal charges. In Delphi, Rich Nye, 13 News.
So you heard Rich there mention the investigation into the unsolved Delphi murders of Abby Williams and Libby German.
We've been following this case extensively since we learned of their deaths more than 7 years ago. And now it's been mostly tied up in court as the suspect Richard Allen waits to go on trial. So we've got all that coverage at the QR code that you see right here on your screen.
That'll take.
Okay, so of course I just wanted to show that one, guys. You know, really, because especially this live, it's about awareness. So if anyone hasn't seen that or whatever, again, you know, just hit the like, hit the share. Crazy. 19 years old. Kind of like the whole Abby and Libby thing, eh? Or say, you know, or be saying that they're saying that they're 19 years old. Whether that's true or not is a whole different fact. Guess that will come through the investigation that they're doing. If they, you know, maybe said that through messaging and stuff like that, that they like were 19 instead of 15. Okay, so again, thank you guys for joining. And I think we're going to go to, let's do a Sebastian right now. So this is a clip by 4, and it's basically up top saying authorities play music to help soothe find missing autistic Tennessee teen. We were told his favorite song was Eye of the Tiger. We tried playing that just to kind of calm him, to let him know we're here to help him. So basically, let's see. Search and rescue crews have been playing music to help soothe and find the endangered autistic boy who has been missing since Sunday in Sumner County. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, 15, has gone missing from the beach area of Hendersonville and was last seen on Sunday in the area. That's that's like 2 days ago, in the area of Beach and Shackle Island near Long Hollow Pike. An Amber Alert has been issued by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation regarding Rogers' disappearance. We know that Sebastian likes cats, said Eric Craddock, chief deputy with Sumner County Sheriff's Office. We were told that his favorite song was Eye of the Tiger. We tried playing it just to be kind of calm him and let him know we're here to help him. The search for the missing teen has been vast, with law enforcement agencies from across Tennessee and Sumner County working day and night to bring him home. The Tennessee Highway Patrol, Sumner County Sheriff's Office, Gallatin Police Department, and Hendersonville Police Department have more crews on the scene. Authorities have searched by air, by horse, and by foot, with more than 150 searchers on ground on Tuesday, which obviously is today. Crews are tracked by cell phone towers. Their paths are marked once they're finished searching. They're assigned to a new search area, said Ken.
Sharon Parker Super Chat, $10. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon Parker. Much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sad. I hope he's okay. Absolutely. There we go. Thanks, Sharon. Let's see here. So let's play this. I'm going to play this clip. I don't know why it's not showing. Oh, here we go. Okay. So I think that it's a little bit airy. Hold on. I think it's a little bit airy, but I'm just going to play it because it's like 10 minutes here. So anyways, again, hopefully he's found safe, guys, for this child, but we'll just play this out and
communicate with, that have the same training, they have the apps that we use. There's a litany of reasons that it's important right now. There may come a time when we call on the public to come out and help us search, but right now we have plenty of first responders on scene.
It's the traffic going by in the background.
Keep sharing it on social media. If you see something, say something. Call the Sumner County Emergency Communication Center at 615-451-3838 and check your home surveillance video. Just check. If you see something, call us. We'll come out.
Hi, Miss Dog Lover. I thanked you yesterday for your PayPal. Thank you here again.
What breaks the case.
Love you.
Somebody's
Thank you.
home surveillance video seeing something.
At what point are people going to
They absolutely are. Sumner County is the greatest place on earth. I truly believe that. We have.
Don't you guys all say that about your own areas?
But we also have the best law enforcement relationships in the county. We've got people from across the state here, the TBI, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Hendersonville, Gallatin sent people. We have plenty of first responders. So my urge to the public right now would be to check your home videos and stay rested, because when the call comes, we'll put it out on social media, and that's when we'll need you to come.
and then, did you want to speak as well? Okay, I'm going to get you
In the meantime, is when you approach this,
Hope your mom had a good birthday.
approach this search, is it different looking for a child than an adult?
It's definitely different looking for a child with autism. Yesterday, we consulted with someone in the first responder world who does emergency management, who also has children who are autistic, and she kind of laid it out for some things that I didn't understand or comprehend at first. She gave us a lot of tips and tricks, so we've had several calls from people with autistic relatives that have told us, hey, we thought about this, and listen, there's nothing off the table. I don't care how crazy it sounds. If it's going to help me find Sebastian, get him home safe to his family, I'm going to do it.
And what are some of those considerations that go into
Two
looking for
days,
a child
though.
with autism?
Some of the things that he likes, what he's familiar with. We know that Sebastian likes cats. We were told that his favorite song was Eye of the Tiger. We've tried playing that to just kind of calm him and let him know we're here to help him. I'm sure that he could see what's going on here and be intimidated. But if he sees this newscast, I want him to know, Sebastian, come out. We're here to help you. We just want to get you home safe.
And at this point, have you guys ruled out any indication of foul play?
I won't say that we've ruled out any indication of foul play, but I will say that the family has been nothing but cooperative with us. Nothing but cooperative. There's no indication of foul play at the moment.
How have those tips been of people coming in and offering up any information that you guys have had in leads or any information you can measure with that?
We've had several tips. One of the tips was that he was sighted off of Newman's Trail off Long Haul Pike. We actually, when we got that tip, we sent a team out. We made contact with who they thought was Sebastian, and it was not. Again, that's a great tip. It could have been. So if somebody sees something, call us. Let us know.
And do you guys know, I know you guys were checking shoes from last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so he is supposed to be barefoot?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
And how's the family doing? Just to ask him.
Oh, I cannot imagine the struggle that the family is going through right now. I'm a dad, Director Widener's dad. I I don't know how.
How's family feeling right now? Well, I don't know. Probably panicking.
Managing all of this, what's been going through your guys' minds? Just kind of juggling all of these people and having people come in from outside agencies as well.
Yeah, you can hear
Well, I think
him.
Roger said it best.
You're
Every
gonna
time
have
we
to turn up your
debrief
own
and
volume,
talk about
Sharon. But
what we've done,
the
we're
person asking the
what ideas
question you
guys
can't
have.
really hear, but him I can hear
I think
fine.
I'm a pretty good law enforcement officer, but I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and I know that. So if someone's got an idea,
Hey,
we've had
Charmaine.
some pretty good ideas come up, and we're
Isn't
gonna
that what we said
try
earlier?
everything we
We're
can.
not the smartest
So,
people in the room.
keeping an open mind and doing anything we can to find Sebastian.
And then I also am told that
We have an instance of an 11 or 12 years from my niece's school.
what is that kind of looking like? Is that kind of upping the danger of the situation here as well?
It definitely increases the volatility of the situation. The medicine was there.
When did that happen to Sub Lover?
How he responds to that once the medicine is out of his system is really not my expertise, but I do know that it's going to have a negative effect. So it definitely is increasing.
And then as people approach him and they see him,
Yeah, unfortunately, the noise in the background is, you can see it's the traffic behind him.
I would definitely say call us first. If you're close enough to talk to Sebastian, talk in a calm, slow voice. Let him know that you're not there to hurt him. You're there to help him, and hopefully you can build a rapport with him until we can get there and bring him back to his family.
About how many agencies are helping with this?
Oh, we've got at least 10 agencies here. Yesterday, and Director Widener.
I'm Ken Widener, KENWEIDNER, Director, Sumner County Emergency Management Agency. So yesterday we had multiple agencies. We have 220 searchers on the ground, and we bring them in and go.
Why have you decided to do it beside the road is beyond me.
A search program to track them, and they lay tracks from their cell devices.
Most are,
we know
thankfully,
where
in the
they're
Sub
at.
Lover.
And they complete those search areas. They come back and they get reassigned, or we reassign them when they're in the field. So today we'll get a count on that, but I'd say we're over 150 searchers on the ground today, and multiple agencies, and THP helicopter, and I'm not sure what the chief went over. Metro's helicopter, TBI fixed wing, over 10 drones. We've got 12 canine teams here. 8 mounted units yesterday, horses yesterday, and 10 here today. So we're covering as much ground as we can, and we keep expanding that search area. And we have pounded the area, the neighborhood that he went missing from, and the neighborhood adjacent, and we keep expanding that out.
And with the anticipation of the temperature dropping tomorrow and a chance for storms, is that going to change the search, or is it going to have any impact on his ability to survive?
We're concerned about the weather because we don't know exactly what he's dressed in, and we could have some flurries tomorrow. And the storms, so the wet, and you lose body temperature 30 times faster when you're wet than when you're dry in the air or in water. And so we're concerned about that, and the chance that we could have flurries tomorrow and those dropping temperatures. So we're continuing to work with drones and FLIR. And we've actually utilized tactical teams, SWAT teams, the county ERT, and night vision that our operators have, and they've been in the field for many hours at nighttime.
Yeah, that was my next question. How do you guys operate these searches at night? I know last night it got dark soon, and it's going to get dark soon here today again. How does those searches go in, and how do you keep those effective?
Yeah, flashlights, FLIR, and night vision. Yeah.
I'll say we do change our tactics based on the weather. So last night we did that. Not ready yet to describe exactly how we did that, because we may have to apply that again tonight or tomorrow.
And then at this point, we're kind of talking about it earlier with body shop. You guys had originally said that's as far as issues on the law. But are you expecting at this point tired, exhausted, sleeping? I mean, I guess what kind of
teenagers are resilient. We're really hoping he has enough clothes on to stay warm, and we think that when he gets fatigued, he should rest. And he doesn't apparently doesn't sleep a lot at night, and he's more active at night, and is, probably sleeps a little more in the day. So we hope he's laying down and resting, and we just want to we don't want him to outwalk the search. And the ground that he can cover on foot. We're working with that, and we're putting that into consideration when we create the areas that we search.
Who's helping out with the aerial searches as well?
There's multiple agencies. TBI's help, Metro Nashville's help, Tennessee Highway Patrol's help, our drone team, North Star's help. Wilson County is going to come help with some aerial coverage. The Sumner County Emergency Management drone team has been phenomenal. There's really no limit. If there's a resource out there that can help us, we've called and we've asked.
Pretty much every agency in the county, and then counties from across the state, quite honestly. With the plea, and I think I heard Chief talking about that earlier, we have a lot of people wanting to volunteer, and we are really looking to put trained personnel on the ground that are familiar with search and operations and have the ability to perform limited rescue operations. And we've got teams on standby if we have a rescue situation. And so there's a lot that goes into that, and we can track these personnel a lot easier. So
Are divers still on scene as well? No?
they're on scene. They're on scene.
Is there anything else that you guys want to add?
Continue to share the social media page. If you see something, say something. Check your home surveillance video. Those are really the huge things that the public can do to help us right now find Sebastian.
So we had a child a lady walk up today with a child who's autistic. They're from Watertown, and the little boy wanted to tell us where he thought Sebastian could be, and he told me very forthright where he thought he would go if he were lost. That he would go towards creeks, and he would go behind buildings, and the different things that he would do. And he told his mom this morning that he wanted to come up here and tell us where he thought Sebastian might be. Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much. Okay, so that's gonna. Hey. Right there.
It doesn't take very long for me to get dressed.
Hold on. Still playing. Let me mute myself.
So right now we have enough first responders on the ground here that we can communicate with, that have the same training. They have the apps that we use to track, and there's a litany of reasons that it's a
Right. I muted myself. Oh, now I got to repeat that. Okay. So what I was saying was to Sharon Parker. Sharon Parker, I'm not sure exactly how YouTube works. I recall one on a particular live, you said that your emojis were blocked. And it wasn't that your emojis were blocked, but you didn't have a membership symbol. So it must have ran out. Like, I don't know if you read New Year's every month. And then Charmaine had gifted memberships and you received one of those, and then your membership thing came back. So I'm not exactly sure myself, because like the channels don't deal with that stuff. Like YouTube, like I said, allows people to purchase memberships for other people, but how the billing cycle works. But I just know that you didn't have a membership thing. So I'm not sure you'd have to ask YouTube, to be honest with you, because like I said, there's certain things like that we don't even deal with. That's strictly with YouTube. Like just like if somebody joins, like I said, becomes a member of a channel, they get the little green thing beside their name. I know that yours had ran out though, because it wasn't that your emotes were locked. So I'm not really sure on that, Sharon Parker. It's a yes, automatically comes out of my bank. Yeah, but it must have stopped, because I remember distinctly when you said that. So this is where I'm confused, because I remember when you distinctly said that on a live, thinking that your emojis were blocked, and I looked over at your name and there was no membership. So is it something that you renew it every month? You know, is that how you do yours? I don't know. Um, so and then next thing I know, it was what? It was pretty much the next couple of days or whatever it was, that Charmaine gifted memberships, and then all of a sudden, boom, like you got one, and then you had your membership thing back. So I like, because I distinctly remember that part. Uh, Beyond that, I have no clue. It was better muted. You shut up over there, troublemaker. Uh, anyways, with regards to you guys, so Sharon Parker, I'm not sure of the answer to that one. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that you were gifted one recently by Charmaine. And then I did not have emojis one day on a channel. I had no smiley faces on the bar. It came back. It had nothing to do with membership in my information. Yeah. Like I said, that stuff's just out of my control. Again, so I don't know if, like, I just know that particular day I remember seeing it without it. So I don't know if it was YouTube glitch. I don't know. I literally don't know. That's like a YouTube question. That stuff's beyond any content creator stuff. No money, no honey. um, so as you guys, so with Sebastian, you know, I mean, typically when it comes to teenagers, like the percentage is very, very high that most of those are either runaways, you know, and that they're found typically at some point. So not say, we're not talking about little baby infants here. We're talking about teenagers. So what do you guys think about this one? Yeah, any person can use regular emojis. Yeah, absolutely. It's just the ones that are specific to the channel. But what do you guys think? You guys think, I mean, I have a feeling that they're going to find him. Don't know what was going on at home, if he, you know, went on some sort of venture himself. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, my guess is that they're going to find him. I hope so. Let's just pray for sure. But the chances of, you know, finding him are a lot greater than finding Elijah VUE alive. No, I just go by my gut instinct, to be honest, Diana. I don't know enough besides, like I said, Charmaine shared this with me earlier today. Don't know enough about it, but I just kind of instantly, like, usually have a gut instinct reaction to things. And I just kind of go off of that feeling. And I'm pretty hopeful for this. But the bottom line is let's say he's whatever, lost, and he doesn't know how to get back home, and he's scared and he's frightened, you know. I'm not particularly thinking foul play myself, as much as, you know, I don't know. Like, I mean, bottom line is, nobody knows yet what happened to him, but I'm not thinking foul play. I'm just thinking kind of like he just ventured off and he might be hiding in a shack somewhere or something, you know? Yeah. Prayers and good vibes. Okay, so now I'm gonna stop this one, and then we're gonna go to Elijah, because they did like an update for Elijah, so we can watch some of that. I'll skip through it if it gets too boring, but this wasn't like an update done today. Most statistics are very, very love with someone. My grandson comes to me about everything. Yeah. very close to someone. That's what you meant to say. Okay. My father told me tonight that he ran away at 6 years old. He's now 73 and very dramatic. So I'm not surprised. At 6 years old. I think when I first ran away, I literally ran like away for maybe an hour at 8 years old. I went and hid underneath, like when you have a porch and then it has like rocks underneath of it, and we lived in townhouses. Can't remember why I ran away. Oh, I know why I ran away. It's because my mom was going to go on a trip across the ferry on Vancouver with some guy that she had met. And she was gonna, okay, it must have been my stepdad, my first stepdad, and she was gonna take us over to the Belshams, which is my stepdad's parents' house, and I really didn't want to go because, well, first they were old and pretty boring. I mean, they were nice people, but they always favored Tanya, my twin sister. Yeah. Oh, hi, gaming. Okay. So, so gaming and sleuthing. I was in the Long Crime Network today, and normally I don't even like pay attention to chat. And Jane from the country was in there as well. And this is why I don't do well in chats, because I don't usually say anything in court TV chats or it's so rare, or let alone Law and Crime Network. But it's like watching a bunch of idiots, like with an IQ of like 1. A lot of them like stupid as shit that they say. But I think it was just pissing me off when I kept seeing these people that kept saying, about Alec Baldwin, like that he should be held responsible too, and da 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 da. I don't know. It was just irritating me beyond belief for some reason, and I think it's just because it's kind of like, I mean, we don't know exactly what's going to happen there, but the thing is that it just is one of those things. Is that what's her name, Hannah? Like it's going to come down to like the negligence over there of herself, and handing off. And my thing is this, like we talked about, is that, when you're an actor, right, and you're handed a gun. So let's say it was supposed to be a dummy bullet. Like, even though, according to Alec, is that a cold gun means that there's no like ammo, no dummy round in there, no nothing in there at all. Like, so like cold gun, whatever. And you got in a fight later that day. And so let's just say that there was a dummy bullet in there. So you're telling me that Alec Baldwin is supposed to check that gun himself and go, yep, that's real, type of thing. He's an actor. This person has the due diligence to this person, and people are acting like he should have chucked the gun and da 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 da. So let's just say, like I said, it was a dummy round versus the live round. So Alec Baldwin somehow is supposed to know that this, like, I'm just hypothetically speaking here, that he's supposed to know as an actor. Oh yeah, that's not a dummy round, that's a live round. So even though there wasn't supposed to be a bullet in there, but I'm just saying hypothetically, if we use the situation where there was supposed to be one in there, it's not his job. If there was even a dummy round in there, it's not his job to look at that. That's not his expertise. His expertise is being whatever. The expertise is on that Gurez or Hannah or whatever her name is to, supply the guns. She's in charge of that. And to make sure that the rounds or dummy rounds, whatever. And it still gets me, like, how there was even live rounds. It was just like comes off like pure sloppiness. I was kind of watching, they had her investigation. So the stunt person is responsible. What stunt person? Hold on. This dog lover, what stunt person? Oh, hi, my love. Oh, yeah. You and Charmaine just show up. You guys can talk to me all day. But can't show up on here now, can you? No. I still love you though. I got in a fight later that day. Anyways, so that's what gaming was talking about, because I was in there and I was like, there was these two beaches. One was named Keeley and the other one was named Nicola or something like that. And I was just like, don't even try to have word games with me, you idiots. I'm too good at that stuff if I really want to be. But I went back in the afternoon and I did see you were in there, except for I ended up leaving, and I think I was watching it on Court TV instead. And I made sure that I closed off that chat. So I was just looking, because I was like, don't even get me started on that stuff. No. That's not the stunt person. A stunt person is somebody that takes the spot of Alec Baldwin. That would be a stunt person. Hannah is the one, I think that's her name, right? Is it the one in charge of, she's the one in charge of the firearms and giving the safety classes and stuff like that. That, like those, how there's those different people in a crew? Well, Hannah was in charge of the guns. And like I said, to make sure that, what do they call it? Cold something or whatever. Or if there's a dummy bullet in there, it's not a stunt person's job. A stunt person is replacing that. So Hannah, she's the one that's responsible to make sure that gun is. It's not Alec Baldwin's job to go, oh, yeah, like there's a dummy round in here, or a live one instead of a dummy round, he's not the expert. Anyways, we'll see how that plays out. I was just glad to see Jensen Ackles didn't get shot and not the stunt person. It is the armors. Thank you. That there was the word I was looking for. Yeah. The armorer's job. That was the word we were looking for. Hi, unindicted. Made it. The wind advisory is, we have a snow advisory. Hey, support with Stuffa. Hey, Ivy Rose. Did you guys get tired of watching Adelphi live and all come over here? Hey, Stuffa, what were you watching before you came in here? Huh? Let me guess. Kristen behind the crime door with Sleuth Intuition. Only because I happen to see it pop up on something on there. Is that where you were too, Ivy? Charmaine? Anybody else? Anybody? No. Like I said, it says right now there's light rain and snow, because my husband's like, there's like a snow advisory. They're supposed to get 3, whatever it was, up in the mountain, 30 centimeters or something like that, up in the mountain, or the mountain pass. And he's like, I don't even know where the mountain pass is. And I'm like, oh, I think that they're talking about like the Coquihalla highway, Coquihalla type of thing. But either way, I don't want to see snow. Yeah, not giving accurate info. No, I think it was just, it's called, they're called the armors. And that's what she was. The armors. I was watching like part of that interview. I caught most of it. Well, no, they played part of it, and then they're going to be playing more. But anyways, with Anna Gutierrez or whatever her name is. And I mean, nothing like propping your leg over the top of a chair, just chilling like a villain, I mean, in court, she looks a lot more respectable, without the purple and yellow hair and the whole weird vibe thing going on. I was watching CPS Court. I'm addicted to them. I was watching a lot of true crime today. And then my husband, you guys, my husband so nicely came home, right, from work. And of course, I was in the horizontal position in bed, because I was determined that I was just going to lay in bed, watch video clips and whatever. So my husband said to me, I'm going to give you the task of keeping that bed warm today. And I don't want you to even think about getting up. And I'm like, I got this. No problem, husband. I can do this. And I said, well, hold on. I did get this apple. So, I mean, it means I did literally have to get up and get that apple. But yeah, when he tasked me to lay down and keep that bed warm, it's a hard job, but somebody had to do it. But anyways, then at some point, about 5:50, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go shower. You know what? I think I'm going to go do a live now that I showered and I feel like I'm a human again. But I was content just watching videos all day. So I was watching a bunch. I was watching Nancy Grace a couple times, Scott Reish. I think whatchamacallit sent me that one, and then sent me the Sebastian on the missing thing. I think Aspen sending me Paul Ferguson jail audio clips or whatever. So yeah, it's been a full day, people. Yeah. Hey CJK, how are you? I was watching Anti-Scientologists. They are great. Growing Up in Scientology is a good channel. Yeah, it's amazing. I love a weird vibe. It's amazing what, some of us do, eh? Like, so tell me, you guys, what were you watching besides people have already said so? And then we'll get into Elijah Vu. What were you guys legit watching prior to this live, and you guys being in here now? What all were you guys watching today mostly? Um, People that work, don't include the work stuff, just anything that you guys were watching. What do you guys like to watch the most? Usually for me, like, the way YouTube works now, especially, everything you watch is being tracked. So they'll put, of course, videos of people that you watch. So if I watch like a homeless dog being saved, next thing you know, homeless dog, homeless animal things are going to pop up in my, the main part there. But typically, like Nancy Grace pops up, the stories that I'm following pop up. So I usually just go through this little thing of I click one, and then, I see something maybe for court TV for another case. And, well, let me click that one. And yeah. It's not a great, love that channel. It's a great day not to be in a cult. I was watching Police Chases, Mustang says. Yeah. Crime on the Record does police chases. There's a guy called LA something that does police chases. I know Ickmel does police chases too when they come out. Sometimes I watch those. I'm not overly into those. I remember the OJ one. I've got to go to bed. Good. Okay. I hope you had a good birthday with your mama. Still hockey. Earlier, I watched a true crime web. Earlier, I watched true crime web. Okay. Nothing to see there. Growing up in Scientology, media's touch, and had chemo all day. Well, prayers to you, Diana. And same with you, Sharon Parker. I know you guys, I know there's a lot of people that struggle, because we're not like the young chick crowd. We're like the older people crowd where, some people have way more issues than other people. But basically, if we could all just wish for a new body, most of us, that would be good. If I could just ask for like less chins, that would be amazing as well. Actually, if I could just have my old body back, I'd be fine with that, to be honest with you. This new one sucks. YouTube documentaries and recipes. Oh. I would be embarrassed to show my watch video list from earlier today. Too funny. There's a great short clip of a police escort bringing Audrey's body back to Livingston. Made me cry. Very moving. I was going to email it to you, but didn't know how. Well, the email address, first of all, is always up top in the left-hand corner there at crimingshame@gmail.com. Plus, it's should be in the link of the description of the video as well. Okay. That's so sad. I was Nancy Grace. She was talking with the mom of Audrey on one of her clips today. So if you guys haven't seen that with some Nancy Grace, maybe you can go check out that as well. Oh, I did watch Fig's video. Basically, Fig's video was about who was that? I can't think of the guy's name. Who was that one guy referring to on the 15th or whatever it was? Anyways, go check it out on Figs. It was basically about the BG, and while it couldn't have been obviously Gabriel Ellis, because Gabriel Ellis was arrested on the 15th, and so when this guy, I can't think of what his name was now, he posted underneath this news thing saying that the person that had been questioned isn't a suspect, like, type of thing, and he believes that, basically, bottom line is that they're referring to, it's a friend of Richard Allen's, and he believes that he's referring to Richard Allen. So that would have been on was it the 14th? Anyway, go watch the video. I think it was it the 14th? No, it would be on the 15th, right? But it was on the 14th that news thing said that. Oh, I can't remember now. Shit. God, it shouldn't be too hard to remember that. It wasn't exactly intense brain video one. It was just kind of simplistic how he was just showing us stuff about that. Yeah. You should Aspen, then one you sent was you should be Aspen, the one you sent was not good. Oh wait, did I already say that? I already said that. I watched Sleuth earlier today and a bunch of random stuff. I'm in one of my moods where I'm not interested in anything. It's a pain. Sometimes I get like sometimes I'm not interested, but it's like sometimes I overwhelm myself and watch too much stuff, and then I'm like, I don't even know what I want to talk about today. And it's more because I just watch so much stuff. It like mentally exhausts me, and I'm just like, I don't even. I usually say that to Aspen on Mondays. I'm like, I don't even know what I want to talk about today, to be honest. I know there's tons of stories. A lot of them I watch and we don't ever talk about them on here. Chemo is more than a full day all by itself. You do you, Pookie. Absolutely. True. Was good, his experiments on there. Thanks, unindicted co-conspirator. Nice to see you. Dog and cat rescue, where they bring them back to health and get them a home. Yeah, I mean, I love those type of ones. There's a couple channels that will pop up in my feed, and it's because I've watched them before. There's this guy that literally, he kind of goes into the kennels, and then he gains their trust, and gives them a treat because they're so scared and stuff like that. In hopes of, trying to get them adopted. I love humane acts of kindness. I love that stuff. Never gets old. Except for when you're watching those people that do those fake videos that make it seem like they're all this kindness stuff, and their videos are so fake, makes me puke. Or there's this one particular creator, whoever they are, can't remember. They literally basically post videos that a person has died. The person didn't die, but they'll post videos so that you'll click on it. Because, like, let's say that you've seen Zach Roloff died, right, from Little People, Big World. And he's not dead, but that's exactly what their title says to all their videos. That's a sad day. I'm amazed that YouTube allows stuff like that. It just drives me bonkers. I love American Bulldogs and Boxers at Lilafango. I watch a lot of police auditors. Yeah. Regular TV Hallmark movies and mystery. I love the Hallmark movies. I watched a couple good movies on Prime the other night. You Are My Kind of Lady, I Do Moves. I've seen that on NG with the mom. Pitfalls are beautiful. What do you mean pitbulls? Have you ever seen the dog Layla's channel? Great videos. I haven't myself. Fig always has some awesome videos. Yep. He likes to keep them just, here's the facts. Like, here. Something blew on her off the porch. Be right back. Okay. Shoot, I think I'm way behind here. I'm going to say I'm humongous. Hey, wait a second. I'm about to say isn't that what Elijah Remember that dad is Hamong, and Adam said that to me the other day, and I'm like, did you typo? Like, did you seriously typo? You know what I really love? If like I don't know if you guys ever watch this, but one of my favorite channel to watch, my favorite show is Little People Big World. It's like my favorite of like one of my ultimate favorites. And Tori and Zach have their own channel now. Actually, in fact, they're not going to be doing Little People Big World anymore, but they have their channel called Tori and Zach Roloff. And I was like, yes, because that's one of the main reasons that I actually um, watched the show was because of Zach. And I didn't like the other, like, no offense to the other brother and chick, but Zach's twin, his wife. I don't know why, but she irritates me. The redhead, she just comes off as a big freaking phony. Not to say that she is, but she just comes off as phony. Cannot stand her. And as for Jacob, like he kind of left the show for a while, came back. Don't pay attention. Anyways, Zach and little Jackson and little Lila and little Josiah, they're too cute. Talking about Fig's video made me think that they're from Oregon, like me. Well, yes, but Zach and Tori, Jenny, they live in Battleground, Washington, about 45 minutes away from their thing. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of a shame. Yeah, good for Zach and Tori. Yeah. I mean, I just love them. Like little Jackson is so cute. Anyways, I just really love them. And on their channel they can talk more personal things in a sense as well. I'm late. You're always late, Miranda, aren't you? Okay, you guys, I'm sorry I've been sidetracking here. So let's watch some of this press conference with regards to Elijah VUE. Okay, you guys know this, right? I have a plan in my head. I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then it just always goes a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. But anyways, let's watch some of this.
For the past week to find him. We want to thank all of our law enforcement partners, specifically our local law enforcement.
Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
Private search and rescue, community search groups.
Meant to do that.
Local businesses for food donations, and Wisconsin sheriffs for providing a multitude of resources to our search for Elijah. Tonight you have a couple speakers before you. First up will be Chief Ben Minard of the Two Rivers Police Department to provide an update on search efforts over the past week. We'll also have two members of Elijah's family who will also speak here tonight. Some things I want to let you folks know as well. When the family comes up here to speak, they're going to be stepping off to the side once they are completed. We respectfully request that you do not film them after they are done speaking. The chief will have about 5 minutes for questions after everyone is done speaking. He will not speak about the current situation involving Katrina Bauer and Jesse VUE. Most of that is already in the media, and they're currently in custody in the Manitowoc County Jail.
That's the mom and the
When
caretaker.
asking questions, we ask that you raise your hand and state your name and which news organization.
Yeah, blah, blah. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Elijah, a 3-year-old boy, has been missing now for a week today. For the past week, we've utilized hundreds of resources, worked around the clock in our attempts to bring Elijah home. Right now, I'd like to bring everybody just up to speed with our search for Elijah and how that went. Elijah was reported a week ago today, like I said, around 11 a.m. in the 3900 block of Mishicot Road here in Two Rivers. Everyone searched for Elijah on that day, and I mean everyone. Our police department, first responders responded out. It's not necessarily an unusual incident to have a missing child. Usually we find them right away. Nearly immediately we realized that we needed more resources. Every officer, including myself, was out searching that day for Elijah. When we needed more help, we reached out to the fire department and our Department of Public Works. Soon after that, we got some information stating that Elijah may have gone missing at 8 a.m. When we received that information, my assistant chief, Melissa Wiesner, She's a former lead investigator, and she's worked many child cases. I entrusted her, and I knew she had the wherewithal to reach out immediately to places like A Child is Missing, our National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. She put out numerous alerts, including missing and endangered alerts, Ring neighborhood alerts, and local emergency alerts. That included an Amber Alert. I know there's been some question about an Amber Alert on that day and why. This child was 3 years old and was reported missing on a cold winter temperature day with only a blanket and possibly light clothing. And we knew at that time, possibly 3 to 4 hours. I define that as endangered. I immediately reached out with the assistance of my staff to the Division of Criminal Investigation. This is not about me. This has always been about bringing Elijah home, and quickly. They led that investigation into his whereabouts with the support of our FBI. We also utilized almost any boat, UTV, drone, canine, and even National Guard helicopters to search for Elijah. Unfortunately, Elijah wasn't found. Following that day, we had a press conference. I know people were frustrated with that. I too was frustrated with that. We had a lot of misinformation going around on Facebook, through social media, and just in general. We felt it necessary that we had to lay out factual information of the case and bring everybody up to date to that point. We also established a tip line and got that out to the public at that time. That has been beneficial and crucial to this investigation and search. Since the conference, I have personally provided media releases daily, if not multiple times during the day, to bring our public up to date and remain transparent. Those leads, those investigations, everything we've taken as tips have led to searching our neighborhoods, searching all our waterways, aerial and foot canvases, both urban and rural, throughout Manitowoc County and even beyond. We've searched Wisconsin landfills and quarries, and we've even had additional leads in Wisconsin Dells. In addition to all those search efforts, I am aware of other investigations taking place. I can confirm Elijah's mother, Katrina Bauer, is in jail on charges of child neglect and obstructing. Katrina's boyfriend, Jesse Bang, is in jail on charges of child neglect. And I do know that Elijah's father has also been incarcerated at Oshkosh Correctional Institute in unrelated matters since 2023. I also understand that the public would like more information on those first two individuals I mentioned. However, I'm unable to discuss those matters because it is an ongoing investigation and I don't want to jeopardize those cases. I want to thank the various local, state, federal agencies, as well as all our fire and EMS, and even those private resources that have helped along the way. Thank you to everyone in the community. They've provided food and drinks towards all these efforts, and thanks to all those private search efforts. On Saturday, we announced a Crime Stoppers Award of $1,000 for information leading to the location of Elijah, and have since provided other ways that people can donate here in the community or abroad. Currently, we have those established as coming to our customer service here at City Hall, our police department, and I'm also working on establishing an online route for people to do so. When that becomes available, I will reach out to everybody and let you know. Today, the FBI has now provided an additional reward up to $15,000 for information leading to the location and return of Elijah VUE, and or the arrest and conviction of any individual or individuals responsible or involved with his disappearance. We have posters here that state just that. In addition to all those search efforts, Elijah VUE's family has been coordinating their own search efforts throughout Manitowoc County. They're here today and they'd like to provide a statement. I'd like to bring those members of Elijah's family out to make those statements for you.
On behalf of my family, we stand before you today with heavy hearts burdened by an unimaginable situation. The pain is indescribable, a torment no family or child should ever face. We cannot express the depth of our sorrow, nor the desperation that consumes us as each moment passes without news of Elijah's safety. To anyone who may have information about Elijah's whereabouts, we plead with you to please come forward. Your courage, your compassion, your willingness to speak up may hold the key to Elijah's safe return. Every piece of information will help bring us one step closer to bring Elijah back to our family where he belongs. To those who may have information, your assistance is just not a contribution, but a lifeline of hope. Elijah is a joyful and curious boy, full of life and love. He is a precious child who deserves every chance of happiness, and his absence is deeply felt by all who know and love him. Every day without him feels like a piece of our hearts is missing. We long to hear his laughter, to witness his curiosity, and to feel the warmth of his embrace. The emptiness left in his absence is a void that cannot be filled by anything else. Elijah, if you can hear us, know that you are deeply missed and loved, and we will not rest until you are safely back in our arms. Lastly, we want to express our deepest gratitude to law enforcement, government agency, and all involved in the search operation. The support of the community, the dedications of volunteers, the generosity of businesses, and the kindness showing through food and monetary donations, and so much more. We thank each and every one of you for your role in our search for Elijah. Please keep Elijah in your thoughts and prayers. And if you have any information, please come forward. We believe that with the help of the community, we can bring Elijah back home together. Thank you.
I talking English is not good, so and I want everybody to be patient with me. So and I just try that I can. So right now, I would like to thank you for everybody to help my family to search for my grandson whole week to today. So everybody know that we are really good. So, and I want to thank you for the officer or all the fire department people, all the people living in 2 cities here, help to search for our grandson, our baby for 1 week right now. So yeah, I really thank you for everybody. So for right now, so I want everybody to continue to help us to look for my grandson. I want my grandson to be home with my family. So I want everybody to continue, don't stop, just searching for my baby Elijah. We want him to be safe and with my family, and we love my grandson.
Oh, it's so hard
Thank
to
you.
watch her.
I'd like to thank the VUE family for being here. I have time for some questions as the sheriff announced
I
earlier.
hate seeing that type of pain in a person.
Investigation of the case, but I
It's
wanted
just
to
so
read the
heartbreaking.
Gina, I'm Jessica from Fox 11. When was the last time someone other than Jesse Bang saw Elijah? What was the last time he was seen by someone other than somebody who's arrested?
Right, we've gotten that question a lot. I appreciate that question. What I will say is the reason that we've been seeking out to the public to request all the information that we are is because we are following up on every lead, tip, etc. And that is one of those things. You know, we want to know every time, anytime that Elijah was seen during this past week. So we will continue to follow up on all leads, any leads, and that's what's leading us into the locations that we've been.
Okay, what was the most recent, yes, before he disappeared?
I can't comment directly on the investigation, but I can tell you that we are following up on all those and we continue to ask for those.
Gina Jones, Fox 8. Have you all
Hang on,
received?
just a second.
Green Challenge 5-6 Milwaukee. Have y'all received any information that indicates that Elijah is still alive, whether that be any surveillance or ring camera?
I'm not going to speculate on anything at this point, but what I will say is all our efforts are for bringing home Elijah safe. I believe that all our efforts thus far have done just that. We've reached out to hundreds and hundreds of resources over this week's time span, and they're all dedicated to bringing him home, and we'll continue to follow up on any leads to do so.
Chief Penalties WISN 12, do police believe Elijah left that residence on his own?
Again, I can't speculate. I will say that, again, when we're talking about the Amber Alert that we put out, people wanted me to speculate on an abduction versus endangered. At this point, what I do know is a child was missing in cold temperatures, winter temperatures, in relatively little clothing and possibly a blanket. That's what we're searching for, and we'll continue to search for until I get some answers.
I know you asked for surveillance video. Has there been any video that shows him on his own walking, anything like that?
I can't comment directly on that. What I will say is if that is in fact the case, I know that we have DCI agents, FBI agents, and local police doing just that because we're following up on all tips, any tips that relate to Elijah VUE and his return.
Chief Mary Apostolakos, NBC 26, you mentioned that there are search efforts in other parts of the state. Can you speak to what those have included? You mentioned here we've been searching landfills and waterways. You said that there have been searches going on in Wisconsin. Tell us what those look like.
Well,
we know we didn't.
What I can tell you is that you've seen and you guys have been broadcasting searches of landfills, searches of our waterways. We know that people have been out in the dells. Those are all things that we're following up on leads on. Any lead.
I believe I seen where they said it's not.
We're going to follow up on those leads because ultimately our goal is, again, we want to bring Elijah home. So it doesn't matter how small that lead or tip may be, please bring that to us. Contact our tip line because we will get people out there to follow up on any lead whatsoever. I think we're going to go back over here because he was asking earlier.
You had spoke about misinformation before. How does misinformation spread, specifically in this case on Facebook, hinder this specific investigation and then just an investigation in general?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
The misinformation on Facebook, how does that hinder an investigation, this one specifically, and just in general?
That in particular doesn't necessarily hinder the investigation. What it does is it hinders all the efforts within the community. Because again, our primary efforts here are to bring Elijah home safe. And if the public's getting misinformation, that's going to lead them awry. I want them to know the facts. Our department takes pride in remaining transparent here in Two Rivers. And that's why I'm putting out all these news releases. That's why I'm having a news conference with you today, is because I want the public to know the facts, just the facts, and be up to date with those facts so they can continue their own searches. We're appreciative of those. I'm also appreciative of all the resources that we're focusing on throughout Manitowoc and beyond.
Chief, can you talk about the toll this is taking on your
I'm sorry, can we take another question over here? I'd like to spread this around.
Samantha Polly, WBAY News. Have you been able to find any items that Elijah was last wearing? We have video of people collecting evidence potentially might be that dinosaur shoe that was missing.
Right. I can't comment on exactly what has been taken or would not be taken. I don't know the investigation issues there as far as how that plays out. What I do know is that we're continuing to search for any of those items that you're talking about. So basically, you guys have all seen the photo of Elijah. We've mentioned that he may have had dinosaur print shoes, a red plaid blanket, and in the clothing description. We are still looking for anybody that has tips on any of that stuff because we will follow up on it and we will try to figure out if it is related to Elijah VUE.
Where do you go from here? Is there still?
I'm sorry, can we go here? Last question.
Yeah, Chief Planner. Felix O from Local 5 News. A week after he's gone missing, how confident are you that Elijah is still alive?
Again, I'm not going to speculate. What I'm going to do is continue to search for Elijah VUE. We are doing everything in our efforts, believing that he is still out there. We will find him and we will bring him home. That's what we're searching for. And really, anybody in the community, anybody beyond, this is not related to just Two Rivers. This is abroad. So even outside of the Two Rivers community, I ask everybody in the state and beyond, really just start looking at your property. That's what you can do as a person not right here physically. If you're looking for something to do, first check your property, then get involved in some of these other search efforts. That would help us a great deal. And again, reach out to that tip line, come back to us, and provide us with any tips, and we will follow up on them.
Do investigators have a reason to believe at this point that there's anyone else involved in this disgrace?
I'm sorry. That was the last question. I will just close with, I'd like to thank you, everyone, for being here today. You've heard pleas from the family now. We echo those same pleas. Since our number one, our priority has always been, I keep repeating it, to bring Elijah home. I'm asking everyone to continue in their searches, continue to contact our tip line, report anything at all that you feel may help us bring Elijah home. Everyone has been affected by this deal, this incident a great deal. This is a close-knit Two Rivers community. We're all devastated. We want answers. You want answers. I know efforts of our city staff, our citizens, and those beyond our city limits are going to continue to work together, and we'll bring Elijah home. Thank you.
Will a representative from the FBI be able to answer any questions at all?
You just heard from the Two Rivers Police Department, the chief there. Let me hear
Conference,
the sheriff saying anything.
again, we're making that plea out to the public. Everybody's seen that kid's photo. It's pulling at everybody's heartstrings. We need to find them. Somebody knows something. Just want to remind everyone, tip line, state tip line, we've received hundreds and hundreds of tips that DCI agents are following up on, FBI agents are following up on, and
Thank you, Diana.
that tip line is 844-267-6648. And as a reminder again, as the chief reiterated, there's a $1,000 reward out from our local Crime Stoppers for information leading to the discovery of Elijah. And now the FBI has stepped up their ballgame, which we have posters set up by them, $15,000 reward for anyone that has information leading to his recovery and or arrest and prosecution of anyone responsible.
I know. You didn't love
Thank you all for
Charmaine
helping
and
share our message out
Aspen
today.
as much, right? I don't think so.
You
Hold
just
on.
heard from
Let's
the
just
Nashville County Sheriff there.
let's just pause that for a moment to appreciate that, Diana. I get it. Yesterday, it really wasn't about Aspen and Charmaine when you did that donation. It was about the channel, and it was about I miss Sunny, and I'm going to donate yesterday, which meaning you. So just Charmaine and Aspen, just so you guys know your role and know your place. Diana clearly loves me more than you guys. Just saying. I'm just saying that for you, Diana. Don't worry. You don't have to say it. I do. Welcome.
Get you up to speed if you're just joining us. We
Thank
just
you,
heard
Diana.
from the Manitowoc Sheriff, and then we also heard from the Two Rivers Police Department. They are still searching for Elijah VUE. That is the main message that we got here out of this press conference.
I
They
agree.
did not dive into the investigation to protect the investigation, but let me just walk you through what we learned here today. Just to get us all up to speed. So we know that Elijah VUE has been missing since last week, a week ago today.
Who's Charmaine?
He was reported missing in the 3900 block of Mishicot Road. He was reported missing by his mother's boyfriend, Jesse Vang. As soon as police got the call, they got the call at 10:59 in the morning, and they instantly started looking for Elijah. Let me pull up that new poster here of Elijah.
He's
right
just
there.
so cute.
And there is another one. All right, I'm going to come back out so I can talk to you. So they are still looking for Elijah VUE. He was reported missing a week ago. They would not get much into the investigation, but they said that they are following up on hundreds of leads of tips that they've received from the community, from family members, etc. They would not get much into the investigation, but the Two Rivers police chief did say as soon as they got that call at 10:59 a.m. a week ago today, they instantly started looking for Elijah. What they knew at that time, according to the chief, is it was a 3-year-old little boy missing from an apartment during the winter, cold temperatures. He possibly had a blanket. So at that point, it was all hands on deck. Eventually, they knew they needed more resources. They reached out to state officials.
It would be a miracle
DCI eventually
if this
issued an
child is
alert
found alive.
around 3 p.m. a Tuesday, a week ago. An Amber Alert came down and it was all hands on deck. FBI agents responded, state agents responded, of course, local authorities as well. And we also know that area police departments have responded with their dive teams, with their search teams, with their canines. The chief talked about how they utilized hundreds of resources. And we've seen it when we've been out there kind of following the investigation. We've seen the boats out on the water, the UTVs, the helicopters above,
Yes,
the canine
yes,
dogs
Jenny.
trying to find a scent for Elijah. The chief talked a little bit about, this is the first time you've heard from them since last Wednesday.
Rickroll me,
They've been
please.
giving updates on
I
Facebook
don't.
to us about the search efforts. He says they're trying to be as transparent as possible. He says he knows people are frustrated. He knows a lot of people have a lot of questions.
All right, you got to pause that. This is for Charmaine, you guys. Normally, it's when somebody purchases a membership, but she says she's too lazy to get out of bed to gift memberships. So what do we have to do? I suppose we have to Rickroll. Well, I kind of deserted your ass yesterday, didn't I? But you enjoyed it. I know you did. I know you enjoyed it. And Aspen, as soon as I came on, he was like, look, bitch, like I'm taking control here, okay? Just back down. I'm pretty sure that lady in Long Crime Network, when I was beacon after her, she said something really stupid. And then she's like, stand down. And honestly, the biggest chuckle went through my stomach As she said that, stand down. You're not going to tell me to stand down. But anyways, thanks, Charmaine. Okay, back to the regularly scheduled program. Okay, hold on. I lied, you guys. One more time. One more time. I desert you guys in a second. You know that. He did assert some dominance. I know. I mean, when Aspen did that, it was just like, okay, I'll let you have your moment. Okay. Anyways, no, thanks to Charmaine and Aspen very much. Because, like I said, I wanted to do something with my husband. And it never really got accomplished, to be honest with you. And then he ended up saying, I have a headache. Let's go home. So that's like, okay. Anyways, okay, back.
Including the media. You heard there, they tried to ask some questions at the end there and didn't really get a lot of answers because it is an ongoing investigation.
Oh, there's the actual song.
Not get tied into it, dragged into it. He says the facts are going to come from the two individuals. We know they are maintaining lead on this. The FBI is just providing resources. And he talks a little bit about the search efforts. Like I said, they've searched that general area. They've even expanded their search efforts. We know
There you
that
go,
today they were in
Precious.
the southern half of Brown County searching. We know that they've hit up a landfill over at in Outagamie County. They've hit up, the waterways in that surrounding area. So they've expanded their search and they're asking people to continue to search for Elijah. I want to bring in that tip line for you because they are mentioning that quite a bit. That tip line there is 844-267-6648. He says they've received hundreds of tips and they are following up on each and every one of those. He says that nothing is too small. So if you have any information about him, where he might be, what might have happened, to contact them. He plans to still update on Facebook to keep everybody updated. But like I said, they've expanded their search efforts. Let me pull up some video of some search efforts that we were able to be a part of. They've searched, a lot of neighborhoods, those waterways. They've searched quarries. They've searched Wisconsin Dells, which is where Elijah's mother, Katrina Bauer, has been living, and Elijah as well. So they have ongoing efforts all around the area. One of the things that the chief did not get into, and he was not going to get into, is the ongoing investigation with Katrina Bauer and her boyfriend, Jesse Vang. They are currently in Manitowoc.
I like how they were saying caretaker when you knew darn well.
Cash bonds. They still remain behind bars, though.
Sorry, not
they
sorry.
They are charged with child neglect.
Yeah.
They are both facing the charges. If convicted, they face 3.5 years in prison. The reason that they have been arrested and now charged is a little bit more clear in the criminal complaint that we got on Friday. And I can walk you through a little bit of that just to kind of keep you up to speed here a little bit. And today I did actively go through that criminal complaint to really figure out a timeline in the events leading up to when Elijah was reported missing last Tuesday. So let me walk you through that timeline a little bit. I apologize, I don't really have visuals. You'll just have to follow along with me as I look at them. So Elijah was reportedly going with his mom. So this happened back in November of 2023, around Thanksgiving. Elijah's mother, Katrina Bauer, had talked to her boyfriend, Jesse Vang, about Elijah's supposed bad behavior. That was back in November. And he told her, according to the criminal complaint, that she needed to do more, try harder to correct his behavior. And so fast forward to February 12th, about 2 weeks ago, Katrina met up with Jesse in Fond du Lac and handed Elijah over to him for disciplinary reasons. We now know what those disciplinary tactics that were used. They are both agreed upon by Katrina and Jesse. Those tactics included making Elijah stand for 1 to 3 hours without sitting down in a timeout. He was not allowed to sit. If he did sit, Jesse told investigators that he would threaten Elijah with cold water. He was also told to pray during that time when he was in timeout or say an apology to his mother. We also know that at one point, Jesse was upset that Elijah had soiled his diaper to the brim and put him in a cold shower to clean him off. He told investigators that Elijah was clean, but he was afraid. A little bit more of that timeline. So
You know,
during the
that's only
week,
the
they
partial
just
truth,
had Vang
right?
on February 12th.
That there's
in
a lot
Rivers.
more that they did
His,
to the poor
Elijah's
child.
mother was still in the Wisconsin Dells. But through phone records, they realized that Katrina Bauer wasn't being completely truthful
Honest.
with authorities about her whereabouts during that week when Elijah was with Vang. On 2 occasions, they looked at data from her cell phone to ping her in Two Rivers.
Duh.
And eventually she told them, yes, she was in Two Rivers on February 14th for some time before heading back to Wisconsin Dells. And then she was also in Two Rivers on Friday night. She got
If
there late.
she's lying,
Authorities
she's
that she saw
hiding
Elijah on the
something.
couch, that he was tired, and then she left early Saturday morning on February 17th to go back to the Dells. Then on Monday, February 19th, a day before he was reported missing, Vang told authorities that Elijah was still in timeout that night, that he changed his diaper around 8 or 9 p.m. Vang says he started to watch a movie. Elijah did not watch it because he was still in timeout. He was standing.
Same, Darren.
That was his punishment. That he was getting pretty tired from it, he told authorities, but it wasn't like his legs were shaking. Fast forward to the next morning, so Tuesday, February 20th. Vang says that he got up around 7:30 in the morning. He woke up his other son, who was at the apartment, got him ready for school, got him on the bus. While he was bringing his son outside to the bus, he says Elijah was still sleeping on the couch in the living room. When he came back from putting his son on the bus, he says Elijah was still sleeping, and he closed the apartment door behind him. He said he locked the doorknob, he did the deadbolt, and he also did the chain to make sure that Elijah would not be able to leave the apartment. He says then that he woke Elijah up, they had breakfast, and then they went into Vang's room. Vang says that Elijah was in punishment, so he was told to stand at the foot of the bed and pray. And Vang says he fell asleep, and when he woke up around 11 a.m., Elijah was gone. So at 10:59 is when Vang says he called authorities to report Elijah missing. So that was around 11 a.m. By 3 p.m., DCI agents were already involved, the FBI, because an Amber Alert was issued. So that is the timeline of events that we learned from the criminal complaint on Friday. Now getting back into the investigation and the update today from the Two Rivers police chief. He says that they are continuing to follow up on leads. No lead is too small. No stone will go unturned. Looking for him. We also heard from Elijah's family. They have been putting on searches and getting out the messages, and they are so grateful for so many searches that we witnessed ourselves covering it. They said that they did this update with heavy hearts, as you can imagine. They said that the pain is just indescribable. They can't express the depths of sorrow, and you could see that anguish on their face, that desperation to find Elijah. They said they are pleading with everybody to please, if you know anything, to contact the police department, that tip line, because they say you might be the key to finding Elijah. They did have a message for Elijah as well, that if he can hear them, they want him to know that he's deeply
I feel like
loved,
they both did it
and they will not
together.
stop until they find him and bring him back home where he belongs. Elijah's grandma also talked.
Right.
She thanked
The
authorities for their
boyfriend
tireless
carried it out.
efforts. They also thanked the community for their donations, the food donations from restaurants, people showing up just to help search for Elijah. So the family also putting a repeated call out there to find Elijah. Going back to the investigation a little bit, we do know that the authorities are not talking much about the investigation. They did confirm that, again, that Elijah's mother, Katrina Bauer, is in custody, along with her boyfriend, Jesse Vang. He is in custody. Jesse Vang is the one that reported Elijah missing last Tuesday. They said that they did confirm again that we talked to a family member yesterday and confirmed it, but they did say that the biological father of Elijah is currently in an Oshkosh prison, and he's been there since 2023.
Oh, they're all just a piece
From
of
our
work,
online
aren't
court
they?
record searches, it looks like he will remain behind bars until 2040. The chief kind of ended with, he knows people want more information. He knows that there's still a lot of questions, but he just can't give that out right now because he doesn't want to jeopardize the investigation. So once again, they're asking for any tips. Let me pull that tip line up for you so that you can see it here. So that tip line number is 844-267-6648. You can give that a call if you have any information. Again, nothing is too small. They want to know everything. They are also asking people to check their properties, check their cameras. They want to know every time that Elijah was seen during that week when he was in Two Rivers with Vang. We do know that the FBI is also upping the possibility of a reward. So last week, Two Rivers Police Department said that there was a $1,000 reward available to anyone who helped provide information that led to the location of Elijah or to suspects that would be involved in his disappearance. Well, the FBI just announced that they're upping that $1,000 reward to $15,000. So $15,000 you are eligible for if you have any information that leads to the location of Elijah, the return of him, or the arrest of those individuals that may be involved in his disappearance. Again, I just want to go over some of the questions that the media did ask the chief at the end. They did not take questions at their first press conference with us last Wednesday. So we thought, they would have a little bit more information to provide, and they did. But some of the questions that people wanted clarity on is, who was the last one to see Elijah alive? The chief would not get into that. He just said that we're asking everybody to keep their eyes open, give them any lead. They weren't going to get into that. Then another reporter asked if he is still alive. Was there any ring or doorbell video or any video that shows him alive after the time he was reported missing? Again, the chief said he didn't want to speculate. Their main focus is to bring
I don't think so,
Elijah
not
home.
unless it was
They
in a
have hundreds
Facebook
of
group or
resources out looking
something.
for him, and they will continue to do so tirelessly. Another question that was there that was posed by the media, they wanted to know if there was any information that they could provide about any suspects involved or anything of that nature. And again,
You're talking about the
they
mom
would not
that
comment
indicted?
on the investigation to protect the investigation at hand, because there is an ongoing one. Another reporter asked about some of the evidence that was collected. We've seen video of a potential shoe that was collected. He wouldn't get into saying yes or no if it was Elijah's or not. So that remains a mystery at this point to us. But the chief just made it very clear that Elijah is still missing. He is their top priority, and they will continue to search for him and leave no stone unturned. If you have any information about Elijah's
I'm not sure.
disappearance, here is that tip line again, 844-267-6648.
Okay, so that's pretty much over that whole thing. Absolutely heartbreaking. That poor little boy. When you, especially when you're looking at his child, and then you're hearing about these pathetic people in this poor child's life, and then this Vang had a son that he was taking to school as well, and stuff like that. Now I'd have to go back and quite listen to that timeline. So do you guys remember what time it was said that Elijah was standing at the end of his bed when he realized suddenly he was missing and called at 11 o'clock? Did he say what time? Because you know that somewhere in there's a lie. And for the mom to even lie of her whereabouts, I mean, come on. That like I said, if you had something to hide, it's because there's something amiss. It's simple as that. If you're being truthful and honest, there's no reason to lie at all. Simple, right? At all. So I don't know if it's like that Vang perhaps did something to this child, and that she was part of the whole cover up, or if both of them had something to do with it. Or I think Charmaine said, what did she say up there? Does the mom perhaps just simply believes his story? And then you got the dad of Elijah, who's in prison till 2040. Like these poor children that are brought into this world, and then when you look at the mom and then you look at Vang, it's like, I agree. It's like a weird relationship. I don't know. It just does seem a little weird. Yeah, he's like, I don't know, Hamong. So I think that's Vietnamese, Hamong. HMONG. Okay, good night, gaming. And I sing in the Long Crime Network. Anyways, prayers for Elijah for sure. I don't know a better way to ask, but are the mom and the guy both American born? Honestly, I don't remember the answer to that. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. But honestly, I couldn't give you a definitive answer on that because I can't really remember. It may have happened the night before. Breakfast never happened. Praying at the foot of the bed, maybe, right? Well, the thing is, though, right? The thing there in what he said there is that there's another child that he got ready for school. So that child would have seen Elijah. So the police would have spoken to this child, the other child that he got ready for school, his other son. Like, not that this is his son, but his son. So it's a matter of, I don't know, Hmong. Yeah. Let me ask Google. How do you say Hmong? Let me see. Oh, I think you just say Hmong. Yeah. H is silent. You're right, you little smarty pants. So it's Hmong with an H at start. Gaming, sorry about the T. Ivy, very true. I'm guessing might have been. Yeah. Depending on how the cold water worked, he could have, right. This is heartbreaking because you're like, for me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys as well, you're looking at the child. He's been missing a week. There's probably very little hope. Sorry, but to say, but again, I hate to say it, but be realistic. But when it comes to a child and a child goes missing, it's going to be very rare that it's anything besides the fact. Typically, it's so rare. It's more likely that a child like Audrey, like Harmony, that they've, their lives have been taken from them. And I'm pretty sure that most people think that with this poor child, and it's heartbreaking watching the grandma family speaking out, because you can feel their pain, because you just, like I said, if you put yourselves in somebody else's shoes, and if that information was coming at you and your 3-year-old grandson, niece, nephew, child, whatever, it's got to be well, it is, it's the most painful thing, especially if you know that something as awful has had to, like Harmony, right? When you look at Harmony and you listen to that horrific story of how she was toted around and what had happened to her, in a sense, it's so unbelievably horrific, what people do or even think to do, even as adults, you got, what's that case? Anna, the one that the mother, with that guy that's in jail, that looks like this Frenchy guy that sold those Warhol paintings. And I can't think of the last name all of a sudden. Anyways, and when you're Google searching things, and that they're like dismembered, yeah, right. I know. I wonder how his own child. Well, let me put it this way. I'm so glad then that child would be out of that house, because he'll never have that custody of that child again, or hopefully never be able to see that child again. Anyways, right, to the same discipline, probably not, right? There's one thing that my twin sister hated about one of the relationships she was in, was that the father had 2 sons. I'm talking about my twin sister here, and she had little Paigey at the time. And if there's one thing that kept pissing her off, is how he treated his own 2 sons versus how he was treating Paigey, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when they had split up, my sister said and that he started being physically abusive with Paigey. Now, in turn, because I don't know where my twins' head was, so they end up, splitting up, whatever. I don't know why my sister. I don't. When somebody keeps going back to a relationship that is unhealthy, but the attraction, and they think that they're a better person, and they make excuses for shit. Now, my twin ended up having my other niece, Haley, the redhead, with the same guy. But that's just it, right? Like, so what my point there was is that, so here he was treating his own sons, like they could do no wrong. And yet Paigey was always taking the brunt because it wasn't his child. I still could never understand that. Give me my own child, give me an adopted child, give me a whatever. Doesn't matter. They're all going to get shown that same love as if they were my own child, whether they're stepchildren or not. And we're talking Paigey was like 3, 4 years old. Freaking cute as a porcelain doll, Anyways, it's so bad that some children, that there's too many like this actually. And these alerts, missing children, are going to happen over and over and over and over and over again. And it really comes down to hoping and praying that they're alive, or hoping and praying like Harmony Montgomery, that their bodies are recovered, at least like Karina McClurkin, to have at least a proper burial by family members that love the child, this is a little bit off topic here, but on Saturday, Charmaine and I are going to be doing a live. It's a Canadian case. So just so you know that, I'm giving you guys a heads up. It's a Canadian case, and it's like 28 years old. And it's about 6 guys that disappeared, and they were never found. Last, I believe it was, they were on, like, they had stole this boat thing, but anyways, no bodies recovered, nothing at all. It's a very mysterious case, but six boys, well, we'll call them teens or whatever. So that's what we're going to be covering on Saturday for Canadian True Crime. So come check that out, because it was like, it was 28 years ago. I'm just going to show you quickly. So I'm going to be heading off here in a sec. And I love you guys, and I appreciate the super chats, and I appreciate you guys joining today that did. And hopefully you guys can give the thing a like and a share as well, and bring awareness to both of these cases. And hopefully Sebastian is found. But let me just give you a little glimpse here. Right here. Okay, see these 28 years later, no new clues to fate of 6 Pickering's lost boys. So this is back in in Ontario there. So Chad Smith, Danny Higgins, Jay Boyle, Jamie Lefebvre, Michael Cummins, and Robbie Rumbelote. So imagine 6 boys, right? Lost boys, never to be found, anything at all. That's crazy. 6. So they stole a boat, right? So they end up in the water. Let's just say they drowned. Not one of those 6 boys is found. Nothing. So we're going to be covering that case on Saturday. Thank you so much, Unindicted. No, this is no, right? It sounds like, when I read it as well too, I was thinking about the pig farm there. This is in, I believe it's Ontario. There's a place called Pickering. So whereas the other one is the pig farm, the Picton pig farm. Yeah. It's on the other side of the country. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, it's going to be a great, interesting live. Charmaine had come across it the other day. And I was like, as soon as I seen it, I was like, oh, without even knowing too much about the story, it was just like, oh yeah, you know how something just grabs you. And so when she sent it, I was like, oh, we need to cover this one. That is just strange. I wish that the parents would give their children or child or children to family members. Right. I know, right? Well, see, that would be my hope for Elijah. Like if I was hoping and wishing, I'd be hoping and wishing that there was some perhaps parent out there that they know that couldn't have children. And so they gave Elijah to this person, perhaps, like that would be like a hopeful dream, that people would do that. So that's what I don't understand. Like, why? Why? There's so many options to give your child over to the what is it called? The Child Protective Services, and so why? Why do they have to take their life? Well, for instance, in the Harmony Montgomery trial, right? He didn't intentionally mean to kill her. At some point, she'd probably end up dead anyway. He turned around and basically punched her in the head 4 times or whatever. And of course, one of the blows, or maybe 2, but one of the blows for sure was lethal, to Harmony Montgomery. So it's meaning it went too far. So abusing the child is normal, but all of a sudden, right, it went too far in a sense. And what did he think was going to happen when you sit there, right? You play with fire enough, at some point, if you're careless and whatever, and that's kind of what happened, then it'll cause, like I said, cause your house to burn down or something like that, even though you played with matches 100 times bullet. So poor Harmony was abused. And then all of a sudden, right, clocks her in the head. And then she loses her life. It's sickening. It's sickening. Okay. You guys, I'm going to head off now. I'm going to go grab something to eat. And we will see you tomorrow night. I'm not sure what our topic tomorrow night is. We'll see. I'll just see what other updates and stuff comes out throughout the day. And then we'll decide on that. And as for Charmaine's daughter, she dilated to 1.5, and then they gave her something to stop the contractions or whatever. So at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, Charmaine, she's at home. But obviously, this child could come a little bit sooner. But at the moment, I think she's at home, if I'm correct. So this will be Charmaine's. This will be your 3rd grandbaby, Charmaine? This would be your 3rd grandbaby? So you have dual citizenship? Yeah, I need to get my husband to become a Canadian citizen instead of this permanent stuff. We're still waiting to hear back on Ryan to know if he can stay in Canada or has to leave. We're still waiting to hear back on that. Yeah, at home. Yeah, 3rd. Okay. Just want to make sure I was right. So that was just to give you an update since Charmaine's, daughter kind of had been in the hospital there because she was, having contractions, dilating and stuff like that. So right now, she's close enough to the hospital, they gave her some stuff to stop the contractions. So, of course, for a child, you want that child to be in that oven for as long as it naturally can, typically, right? Man, you guys got it so easy. I would love to see a guy spew out a child from the top of his little hole on there. Yeah, and imagine an 8-pounder, coming out of a 4-inch, 5-inch. Just saying, you guys got it good. Anytime you guys want to bitch about anything, yeah, you just remember who gave birth to you. All right. Anyways, love you guys. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow night. And again, thank you guys for the support of the channel. And don't forget, you guys, it's February. February it's a leap year. So instead of it having 28 days, it has 29 days. So we have 2 more days left of this month, and then we're on to March, of course. So good night, you guys. Take care. And again, please share. And I have Sebastian's missing poster on the community page. I don't know if I had time yet to share it around. No, I didn't. It's on the community page, though. Okay, or you could just Google it and find it as well. Anyways, you guys, take care and have a great night. Oh, he's got to find the outro. Here we go.
The world is cold. We stand surrounded. We are not alone. Within my reverie, there's holy light. Without an unknown, we stand and fight. And Lord, ignite.